Welcome to Louisiana Heart Beats. As you see, we have a new intro. We're also starting a new year, 2017. And so many wonderful things have happened. So many bad things have happened in the year 2016 that my guest and I today, Cheri Carlton, decided that we wanted to share with you some miracles that have happened, some just great people that have shown kindness. So we're talking about blessings unexpected. Welcome to the show, Cheri.
Hi.
She's also an author, and she's here. And so what can I say other than I wanted to do something different, and a lot of great things have happened to you. So where do we start with all the good news?
What I think what really got me going on this was when I started reading on Facebook all the negative commentary about 2016. And one of my responses is actually what got you to contact me to do the show with you.
That's right.
Because I said, basically, yeah, a lot of bad happened in 2016, but a lot of good happened too. And there was, I know personally, I cried a lot of tears in 2016, but they weren't all from pain. Some of them were from joy. So to let negative things and painful things wash out all the joy just doesn't make sense to me.
That's right. I want to share something before we get into all the wonderful things that I do not know that's happened to you. But I wanted Katie Anna to know that today is the 4th of January 2017. On September 13th, I have been out for 5 months, almost 6 months. And I'm sure some of you watching the shows noticed there were a lot of reruns. Well, I didn't tell AOC, and I didn't tell Facebook exactly everything that was happening to me, but I have yet again survived a near-death experience. I was sent home to die with tubes in me saying that my body had been infected by symptoms from a bad gallbladder, and yet I was too sick to have surgery because I wouldn't make it off of the table. So I began to seek the source that I always go to, and I began to pray and say, okay, if it's my time, it's my time. So I just started maybe making arrangements with all the different activities that I was involved in, really saying goodbye to a lot of people who really didn't know that I was maybe going to be exiting pretty soon. So what happened is I was sent home, it's June, with the possibility of for sure not being able to have surgery. My daughter was told I would die on the table. Even if I came out of it, I would really be having a problem. So they sent me home, and during that time, from June until September, I readied myself for whatever the outcome would be. And then they wanted to do some new testing, and I didn't understand I was feeling so good, Cheri. Maybe, just maybe, I was going to get to stay on Earth a little bit longer. Sure enough, the test showed that I was strong enough. I had developed what they said COPD that I didn't know I even had. And being a hairdresser, I was used to all kinds of things. But the symptoms basically were never there, and I was always wanting to keep busy, and keeping busy is a good thing. And so what I wanted to share with you, Katie Anna, is on September 13th, against all the odds, I not only come through the surgery without having to be put totally asleep, but I also recuperated in a speedy time, and my caretakers were with me several months, 2 times a week, and they kept saying, you don't look like everybody else. Everybody else is on life support, and here you are doing everything for yourself. And of course, my faith is what got me through, believing that with God, all things are possible. So now you know, that's where I've been, and I came back with a totally want to do something different. So Cheri is really the beginning of some of the ideas I've come up with. So Cheri, share some of your good news. I'm still here, and we still have the show.
Well, to start out, somebody very close to me, very, very close to me, has relapsed with her cancer.
Okay.
And this is her second bout with it. So I'm looking to accept that she may not be here much longer. but at the same time very grateful for the time that we've had together. At the same time, this past year, I learned I did not have cancer.
Amen. Great news.
You know, I was in the doctor's office, and the doctor was terrified that he was going to end up telling me I had colon cancer. Ended up, I had a condition called solitary ulcer syndrome. So, you never know. You never know what the cards are going to be and which way you know.
Attitude is very important, though. Keeping busy, productive.
Yeah.
That I know you do.
Oh, yeah. Some of the experiences I've had over the past 4 or 5 months, I guess, with all the turmoil in our society right now and all the, the political unrest and all the stuff that's going on, I feel like we need to be reminded that there's good people out there.
That's right.
There are beautiful, wonderful people out there who act as what I consider agents of God. They act as angels.
Yes, without wings.
Without wings. and people say, oh, well, they're angels. I said, but we've got to remember something. There's a perspective, I think, that we don't look at a lot. And it's, a Heavenly Father can put it in your heart to do something for somebody.
That's right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He can put that in anybody's heart. Well, the first step after that is the person has to feel what Heavenly Father put there.
Right.
Right? Then the person has to actually acknowledge it.
Right.
And then the person has to actually act on it.
That's right.
The person has to act on it. So yes, God can put things in our hearts, but it's still the person choosing.
That's right.
To do it. And to me, that's the amazing part.
Yes.
And that's where the miracle part comes in, where we act as angels to each other.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
I was out picking pecans. And I've heard that there's a lot of people know that I'm out there picking pecans, because I'm the people see
Or
me.
climbing trees.
Yeah, well, if you're ever out there and you see me climbing a tree and you see me fall, please call 911, because I don't know.
She probably doesn't have her cell phone with her.
or it's in my backpack or something. But and then I've been told that a lot of people know that I'm out there because they see me, and I'm lugging my pecans all over the place. Well, I was out there one day, and which one to start with? I love this one. I was out picking pecans one day, and all of a sudden I hear a voice behind me go, ma'am? And so I stood up and I turned around, and a lady was approaching me. And she had something in her hands. And I said, okay. And she continued to approach me, and she got close enough, and she held it out to me. And she said, I bought you a roast beef po' boy.
Wow.
I was starving. I was starving to death. I had no money on me to buy anything. And I'm diabetic.
Okay.
And so I knew I had started to get that weak, shaky feeling, saying, I need to quit and get something to eat.
And then lo and behold, there it was. Food.
Sudie, I took that sandwich, and it wasn't a half po' boy, it was a whole one. It was a whole one. I took that sandwich, and I stood looking at it for a few seconds, and I looked up to say thank you. And she was gone.
Mm-hmm.
The lady was gone.
Yeah. I would say that was definitely an angelic visit that met your need. Only God knew you needed it.
Yeah. But she was gone before.
Or she ran awful fast.
She did. Well, I don't know how long I stood there and looked.
Amazement, yeah.
At this
the need was met,
wonderful
and you were just in
sandwich
awe.
in my hand. So you're right. Heavenly Father knew what I needed, and He touched somebody who listened to the prompting.
That's right. That's right.
And followed through with that prompting.
That's right.
I can't tell you how good that sandwich was, for one thing. I mean, I devoured the first half of it, you know.
Wow, that tasted better than ever.
You know, it was wonderful. But how grateful I was, you know, that somebody out of the blue who doesn't know me from Eve,
right,
would just decide to do that.
To do that.
Isn't that awesome?
It is awesome, and I can relate to that.
Isn't that awesome?
I love the stories.
I was out, again, again, picking pecans out by the Walmart on Pinhook. And I was crossing the parking lot of Murphy's. And all of a sudden, a car pulls up next to me and stops next to me, and the driver's window goes down. And a lady driver with the man sitting in the passenger seat. And the lady says, "Ma'am, I notice your bag is torn."
Okay.
And I was wearing a book bag, and it was gaping open because it had torn so much. And she hands me a bag. She says, "Here's another bag." She says, "It's not a book bag, but it's a bag."
Right.
It was brand new, still had the tags on it.
Wow.
I still use it. And the man hands me a $10 bill on top of it.
Wow, what a blessing, double blessing.
And says, "Go get you something to eat, or just something to drink."
You're right, though. They felt the passion and the need to bless you, and they did. They followed through. There's a lot of people that kind of miss that awesome experience to be able to bless other people. When you're given something and you know the person needed it, and they let you know, gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude.
Yes. And to give in that way I'm a giver.
Me too.
I'm used to being the one giving.
It's so hard to receive
yes.
sometimes, though, isn't it?
It is. And I still get...
I'm learning, though.
I was picking pecans next to a parking lot. And this lady drives up, and she stops, and she rolls her window down. She says, "Would you come over for a minute?" You know? Mm-hmm. And my first response is still, believe it or not, is still suspicion.
Well, yeah.
You know, what does this person want? You know? And so I kind of looked at her, and I eased over to her car, and she hands me a $20 bill. And she says, "This is just to gift you with."
Hey, great.
And I went, "Oh, but yeah." And I was carrying.
You're so willing to give back.
I was carrying some of my pecans that I sell, you know. So I said, "Well, you can take the pecans and buy the pecans," you know. And I grabbed the bag of pecans out of my bag. She says, "No, you sell those to somebody else." I wanted to gift you with that.
Awesome blessing. Move that coffee. I think we're going to get so excited we might just splash that sucker off the table.
If it hits Kenneth,
I get excited.
If it hits Kenneth over there, we know we've done a good job.
Cheri talks just like me. She gets excited. It's something to be excited about, because let me tell you what, Cheri, people like you and I are givers. And even if we need something so bad, we will not tell people we need it. Only our Father, the giver, He knows.
I don't.
And He'll send people to us, and only God knew it was that bad.
Yeah.
So you receive it knowing, thank you for answered prayer.
Yeah, because my daughter has actually chewed me out for not calling her when I've needed stuff.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't know the months that I went with no food in the house.
Yeah.
She doesn't know the months where she knows when they turn the internet off because she can't contact me on the internet, you know. But she used to get mad at me because I wouldn't have a phone. That's why she put me on her phone plan. She says, "Now I know you have a phone every month."
Something up. There's a lot of people out there watching, but Cheri, you work so hard at providing for yourself that if you see her climbing an orange tree, it's her. If you see her picking pecans, it's her. If you see her goodies for sale, it's her. Mm-hmm. She's not sitting back wanting a handout. She's actually trying to earn without asking. And sometimes, no matter how hard we work at something, sometimes our needs are above and beyond what we're able to do physically. And that's when God moves in on my part and has blessed me with unexpected $100 check in the mail that only God knew I needed bad from a friend that I had never asked for but had given so much. But when I give, I don't keep a tally.
I don't either.
So whenever they say, Sudie, I remember when.
And I give,
you know,
I give with no regrets.
No attachments?
And no attachments, no strings. Don't ask me to borrow because I'm not going to lend you.
Give it.
Once it's out of my hands, it's yours. It's out of my hands, and that's it. Forget about it because I have.
Yeah.
But it does make me mad if I tell somebody that, and then they say, "Well, I am going to pay you back," and then they don't.
Oh yeah.
Because then because that's on them as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But that's between friends. These are people that I've never seen before.
That's right.
People that may have seen me out there picking, but I had never seen them before. I was out, I did get busted, by the way.
Okay.
But
We'll
the
talk about the
police,
busting part in a minute.
but the police officer let me off the hook.
Working so hard, probably.
I was trying to sell some pecans.
Okay.
And a lady out there off of Evangeline Thruway, and
You were in the middle of the 4-lane?
yes, and
I can see you in the middle of the 4-lane.
yes. Well, the lady, the traffic stopped for. Now this is 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, that's when it's the best traffic out there, and. A car, the traffic light stopped the traffic, and the lady in the middle who stopped in the middle lane flagged me over. So I went, all right, a sale, you know. I was selling my pecans for $9 a pound this season. So I went over, and I had $21 bills, so I had some change, right? So I went over, and I get to her window, and she rolls her window down, and she pulls out a $100 bill out of her little change purse. And my first thought was, I can't change that. I can't change a $100 bill, not unless she buys 90 pounds or 9 pounds, or 10 pounds. And because I stopped in shock because I'm going to miss a sale because I can't. She slips the folded $100 bill in my hand, takes the bag of pecans out of my other hand, says Merry Christmas. The light changed and she drove away.
Wow, what a huge blessing. You were probably jumping around out there after that gift,
Oh, I stood there in shock with the tears running down my face.
'Cause you knew.
With the traffic, the 3 lanes of traffic zooming past me, with the honk every so often, just so the driver would make sure I knew he was there.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, I knew that we had made plans for my daughter and son-in-law to come for Christmas dinner, but they were going to come early in the week. I had no idea at that point where I was going to get the money to buy the stuff for Christmas dinner.
You see, you shared that part on Facebook, and that's when I said, oh no, we have got to talk about that. So
Yes. I had no idea.
we have 5 minutes left in the show.
Yes.
Come on, girl. Keep going. Keep going.
I have something for you.
You have something for me?
Yes,
The
I have
show's about
something for
you. Well, we want to talk about everything that you're doing.
Well, friendship to me means, I have a lot of definitions
I
of
was feeling
friendship.
my director was in on this.
Okay, I have a lot of definitions of friendship. And one of my definitions of friendship is that the person you're friends with accepts the way you are, but also pushes you to improve.
Aww.
And it also is, they inspire you.
You're not supposed to make me cry. This is supposed to be about you.
To me, a friend, I have a respect for a friend, and I have an admiration for them, no matter how little it might be. Or it doesn't have to be something huge, but I have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration for you. And you push me to grow.
Wow.
And to move and to do things. And there's this saying that I found a couple of years ago that I have hanging above my computer. But I put this together for you. And
wow. So we're going to make it through the end of this show?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
It says, get your fire back. It's not over until God says it's over. Start believing again. Start dreaming again. Start pursuing what God has put in your heart.
Wow.
And when I get down, or I get discouraged, or whatever, I can look up and I read this.
I love it. It's perfect.
But often it brings you to mind.
Wow. Well, this is one way to end the program. Oh, my gosh.
I wanted to give that to you.
There's more to the story here. The things that tried to happen to keep you and I from becoming friends, you remember?
It was amazing.
But deep down inside, we kept crossing paths, and I gained an awesome friend who had an awesome story to share with the world. And I'm proud to say that she let me be part of her releasing her first book, I Am We. And it is so powerful that I got to know her through her book and told her there has to be a way for you to get that out there because you would be helping so many people. But if I have touched one person as deep as this, like you, then I'm believing I need to stay on that path.
Yes, thank you. You are
wow, what a blessing.
awesome.
And it's going up on my wall.
You're awesome.
Wow,
you are an
thank
awesome,
you so much.
powerful, spiritual woman. And
You know what they say, and you're like me, Cheri. We give what we really need. I need to know I've made a difference in someone's life more than they need to know why I believe in them. I think I am a spokesperson for the person who has awesome dreams and stories to share that would encourage other people and get their stories told, whether it's on television or whether it's in a book. And I am blessed to say, I told you one day, I said, you and I could be sisters. And I think that's what's happened. We've become so close, it's like we were and are sisters. I had no idea you were going to do this. I just knew that I wanted to share a little bit more about you with the world. I'm like, wow, thank you. I love it. It's going on my wall, I promise you.
I'm sorry I got sappy on you, but that's just how I am sometimes. I get
I
sappy
also have heard
sometimes.
that you don't do stuff like this, but I'm like you. If you're a friend, you're a friend.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And he's giving me the sign that we need to start closing down. Wow. Okay. Well, I sure hope that Katie Ann Open Channel is going to be seeing this show, of course. We're going to be putting it on YouTube. And I also want to say it's definitely going to be on Facebook, the show, this video itself. But I want to thank you, Cheri, for coming on.
And I want you to know, just for you, I have a lot of friends who live across the United States, and I have friends who live in other parts of the world who want to see the program.
Awesome.
And so that's why I make sure I put the site on Facebook so that people can hit on it.
And you know, Cheri, that's
it.
exactly why not everybody has Cox Cable. Mm-hmm. All right? And even myself, my daughter changed services, and I can't even watch my own show anymore. But I keep doing the shows for people to hear your stories. And YouTube is a blessing. AOC is a blessing. And so I do it for the same reason for people who do not have access. We put it somewhere
Well, I
where
mean,
they
we
can
only
see
air
it.
within a small area.
That's right.
so.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and for sure this will be going on my wall as soon as I get home. And I will look at it and thank God that He put you in my path also. And I don't think that this is the end of our relationship, it's just the beginning.
I think so.
So I want to thank everybody who tuned in today. I hope you're enjoying the new beginning of the show. I know that I've got a total surprise, thanks to my director and my friend and guest today, Cheri Carlton, who has a book out, by the way, people, called I Am We. You can check out.
Revised edition.
Hey, revised. She added some more good stuff. And you can check out and see what it has to say on Amazon.com. And know that this lady has so many great stories. She survives with different personalities just to get through the day. And she's sharing her insight of what it takes to be more than personality. And she can bless you. Please check out her books at Amazon.com. Meanwhile, you have a story, you need to come tell us. We'll be glad to share it.